What's up, adventurers? Adventure with Chris here. And I am in the North Georgia Mountains. More specifically, I am in Amicalola Falls in the northeast corner of the Appalachian Mountains. Let's go adventuring. I'm sitting here on this porch that's connected to this junior suite that I got here at the Amicalola Falls Lodge. The goal was simple. I was going to come up here with my partner. We were going to do a hike up to Blood Mountain. We did that yesterday on the Appalachian Trail, about a 6-mile hike, 4,000 feet of elevation, and it was beautiful. And then we came back and checked into our suite, and I was like sitting here and doing a little research about the lodge and the area, and found out that in 2015 a movie was filmed here. Now, the movie was called A Walk in the Woods. It was based on the book, also called A Walk in the Woods, Discovering America Through the Appalachian Trail. And it's basically about a guy, the main character, the protagonist, who is Robert Redford. And he is kind of going through a point in his life where he wants to rediscover himself. He's kind of bored with his reality. It reminded me a little bit of City Slickers. He wants to rediscover himself, and so he picks the Appalachian Trail. He starts calling friends on the phone. Everyone thinks he's crazy, coworkers. And he finally calls an old friend who's kind of kooky, and that old friend is Nick Nolte. And so they meet up down here, and they hop on the Appalachian Trail. They meet all kinds of people, and this is where they stay when the movie starts, is this lodge. I'm going to show you some of the filming locations. Now, they filmed at the falls. I'll show you some pictures from my hike yesterday to Blood Mountain. They filmed some of that on the Appalachian Trail as well. Here is that same road. As you can see, it's a windy mountain road that goes right up into Amicalola Falls State Park. It's just a mountain pass. Nothing fancy about it, but this is what it looks like in 2026, about over 10 years ago. So the movie opens up as they get here. This is just one of the windy roads that takes you directly into Amicalola Falls State Park. And I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. And the taxi driver here is just basically telling them that, he picks up AT hikers all the time and takes them here to get started for their big hike to see the Appalachian Trail. As the taxi pulls up, here we are at Amicalola Falls Lodge. So here's the road they come in on in the cab. He pulls up right about here. They pan over, and of course, since it was fall when they were shooting this, the leaves were not covering the lodge the way they are now, but this is the actual lodge itself. The taxi driver would have pulled up right here, telling him he'd seen and picked up a lot of AT hikers to get their hike ready, and he pulled up right here and dropped them off at the lodge. Really nice lodge, by the way. I stayed here for a night and got a suite. Really nice. It's a late July, and the temperature here is very mild. So here's Robert Redford checking in to the lodge, and he notices his old buddy, good old Nick Nolte, and he's already there basking in the beautiful view. And this was supposed to have been April, but it is not. This is winter when they filmed it. And I asked some of the people there, and they said, yeah, they were here in the winter. So they were trying to label it as April. All right, so here's the lobby itself, and you can see Robert Redford standing over there, checking in. And then he walks over here, and you can see where Nick Nolte is standing literally right here by this fireplace, looking out the window, watching the mountains. He literally walks right here. This is the exact spot. And then the restaurant that everyone's at in the morning getting ready to go to the Appalachian Trail is right here. Now, they've repainted the hotel lobby and stuff since they filmed the movie, but here's the lobby itself and everything else. It's the whole Appalachian Trail right here. The movie's based on this, goes all the way up to Maine. This is such a nice place. The views here are insane. And then there's this like beautiful either drone shot or helicopter shot. And the next scene, they do like this big sweeping helicopter or drone shot of the back of the lodge right here, coming down off the mountain, facing the lodge from here. I had to be careful because I did see a timber rattlesnake in the grass yesterday. But yeah, here's the back end of the lodge. So in this scene, everyone, all the AT hikers basically that come to start in Georgia are having breakfast at the Lodge restaurant, and Nick Nolte and Robert Redford are having breakfast. And literally, I sat in this almost exact spot and had breakfast, and I'm going to show you. I had pancakes and coffee. They were absolutely amazing fruit pancakes. I'll show you next the dining room, which it looks like it did get a bit of a renovation since 2015, fresh coat of paint. They moved the bar to the front. When they filmed this, the bar was in the back. But yeah, through movie magic, let's see what it looks like today. So a few things I noticed since they filmed, like I said, the bar was moved. There's just like this stained glass looking decoration on the windows that's gone. The columns and the walls were green. Here's the view. The view's just spectacular. But as you can see in the movie, it was wintertime, so it wasn't as green. But they sat right there in that booth to your straight ahead, facing the camera. So they would have been right in here somewhere, Nick Nolte and Robert Redford having orange juice and breakfast. So this is one of the next to last scenes they shot at Amicalola, and this is the AT approach to Springer Mountain. And as a hiker myself, what that basically means is you don't officially start the AT in Amicalola, but it's the approach to the start. Springer Mountain Summit is the start of the AT. So if you want to start it in April, like most people do, you get this little arch here, and this is like the official place to start. And this is sort of what's happening in this scene. They're both walking, and this goes right behind the Welcome Center in Amicalola. And there's the Welcome Center, but that Welcome Center has been torn down, and there's been a new one built. Let's see what it looks like today. So I've made it to the Welcome Center in another popular scene from the movie where Robert Redford and Nick Nolte are. This is the start of the Appalachian Trail. So this is where it begins officially. And most people go from Georgia to Maine, and they usually start in April. So they get the cool temperatures here, and then by the time they get to Maine, they get the cool temperatures up there as well before it hits winter. But in the movie, they're standing right here. They walk through the infamous arch. There's a back scene as well where you can see him. They've completely changed this Welcome Center, though, by the way. They've completely redesigned it. But here it is. Maine to Georgia. And then you just keep walking. Now, there's a couple of scenes. Now, this is being worked on. There's a couple of scenes where they show him walking, and Nick Nolte is comedically trying to keep up. And it's right here. And Nick Nolte's all, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I can't do this. And Robert Redford's just like, dude, hurry up. This is that trail right here. But this goes all the way to Maine, what I'm walking on now. My legs are kind of killing me because I did 6 miles yesterday on the AT going up, straight uphill. So anyways, this is the trail though from the movie. Absolutely beautiful day today on the Springer Mountain approach here on the AT. Now a buddy of mine's done the AT, but he started in Maine, so he went the opposite direction. So there's some scenes like this one where they're actually at a shelter, and I thought I'd show you guys what an AT shelter looks like. Let's take a look. All right, so here's one of these shelters on the AT here, and you always know it's an AT shelter because, well, we were at one on Springer Mountain yesterday, on top of, Blood Mountain yesterday, and you see over here, they've got a little logo that says AT shelter. Now, I have to look and see in the movie, I do believe they stop at this one at one point, but it's shot all out of sequence. And what that means is they basically are going to shoot it in a different way to make it look like they're at a different point in the hike on the trail. But they're not. And this is the Max B. Epperson Senior Trail Shelter for one of the volunteers. But when you get into these shelters, they're real basic. As you can see, there's nothing fancy to them. And this is for people that come in late, to start the trail late. And this is the start. And then you open it up. And there's nothing much to it, really. A lot of signatures of people that have been here. This is a bunk. Nothing fancy to it. As you can see, you bring your own sleeping mat to keep the bugs off you. Lots of people have signed that have been through here on the AT. I was going to see if Robert Redford had signed it or anything, but there is no telling. He and Nick Nolte may have while they were here.
Doesn't go that far.
Does it go back to 2015? No. Here's one right here.
It's 2026.
Okay, so they do have log books here like this
Why
one,
would they have that much?
but by year. And everybody that's been here, hang up your stuff, has signed. And there was one...
Last person that was here was on the 12th.
last person that was here was on July 12th, and it said they had started off a really rough start, had already sprained an ankle, lost a phone. So, this is where you start going all the way up to Maine. Signatures from all sorts of time. But yeah, when you watch this movie and read the book, it's basically all about trail. And here's the AT mountain. I just now noticed this. Someone's actually painted all the summits. So there's Springer Mountain. I've been there. Fontana Dam, which is in the movie, by the way. They show Robert Redford and Nick Nolte walking over Fontana Dam in North Carolina. And that's at the Great Smoky Mountains. So here's Roan Mountain in Tennessee, Damascus in Virginia. Here we are in West Virginia, Harper's Ferry, which is right there. Washington Monument in Maryland. The Rocky Paths in Pennsylvania. New Jersey's got High Point. New York has Bear Mountain Bridge. Connecticut has the Cathedral Pines. Massachusetts has the Graylocks. Vermont has Killington Peak. New Hampshire has the Washington, and Maine has Mount Katahdin. Now here is the logbook. Let's see here. Here's June 1st, Michael, aka his trail name is The Animal. The Adventures of a Dead Man, still walking on Facebook. Going to attempt to hike the Appalachian Trail. I'm a disabled vet with TBI and I badly damaged left leg, and I'm hiking the trail for my 70th birthday. My brain is messed up. I even have trouble writing. Here I was, hit on my Harley Davidson on March 6, 2003, suffered cardiac arrest, lost 5 pints of blood, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and they spent months trying to save my left leg. It was so badly damaged. My knees are so bad. They said I need a double knee replacement, but I told them I have time. I don't have time. I need to hike the AT. I am Animal. I am Nobo, which means northbound to Maine. And this was June 1st. It's kind of late to start, but yeah, it's just one story of many. The last person that was here was on July 12th, Manuel G. Long day ahead, not enthusiastic about the rain. My tarp should be good, but I don't think I brought enough rope. Monkey out. So many stories. Here's another interesting one. Nicole, I love you. You are my rock, my best friend. I hope I come back a better man. Love you. Trail name, Turtle. March 17th, 2010. This is the last scene that they shot at Amicalola Falls State Park in Georgia. And this is them coming up to a waterfall and they're having to do a crossing. This is actually the base of Amicalola Falls at the park. And they just kind of shot it out of sequence to make it look like it was a couple months later. And a couple young guys come up and they crossed ahead of them. The guys have a little bit of a comedic scene here, falling in, trying to cross the falls. And let's see what it looks like today. All right, so here's the spot where they're trying to cross the waterfall. And they're not quite sure if they should do this or not to the other side. Here's the trail where the guys come up on them. And here's the waterfall itself. And this is the base of Amicalola. So they shot this out of sequence. This would have been, they say it's May, but actually it's right down the road from the approach. So they did all the Amicalola stuff here and then just shot and added what they needed later for the movie, for B-roll or anything else. And you can see both of them doing what I'm doing right now, kind of traversing the river, not wanting to get wet to make it here to the other side. But this is really just the base of Amicalola. We're still in Georgia. And I think in the movie they said it was May. Obviously, this is still in the park. Well, this is one of the other spots where they filmed trying to cross the waterfall. Trying to find exact spots is hard, but you can see why they picked this spot here. Beautiful bridge at the top. But this is Amicalola Falls. Also not in the movie, but worth noting, this is Amicalola Falls proper. Now this isn't part of the movie, but just a cool story here on one of the other filming locations I'm walking to. This is an old bootlegger truck that basically got stuck here trying to outrun the cops back in the 1920s and fell off the road above. And now the tree has actually grown into the truck. And yeah, this has got nothing to do with the Robert Redford movie. I just thought this was a cool thing. So this next section is Neal's Gap, and the cool thing about it is the shoe tree where people throw their shoes after finishing coming down from Maine. And this is the only part of the AT that actually goes through a structure or a building. And the building now is like a outfitter shop / place to get food and bathrooms and showers. But here's what it looks like today. Here it is. This is the only spot on the Appalachian Trail that actually has a structure going through or over it. And this is to Neal's Gap. And it actually is now like a bathroom, showers, and a outfitter shop. And it's really cool. And I actually was able to use the bathroom here, and they got a shoe tree where all the guys throw their shoes and girls after they're done. The final shot I want to show you is this beautiful sweeping vista of the mountain. Another update here, watching the sunset. And no timber rattlesnake is not back, but the colors of the sunset. Ready for this? Oh, look at that. As the sun goes down more behind that mountain there, the colors are going deeper orange and pink in some cases. Now this is no filter. I have not put any kind of a adjustment, contrast, nothing. This is just the sunset doing its thing up here. More and more people are coming out of the restaurant to watch. This is the time to come to this hotel though in the summer. This is considered their off season. There's like a zip line thing behind the hotel, and most of the people that come here this time of year, you know, they want to do hiking and stuff, but their prime season where these rooms go up to like $300 or plus a night is fall. And if you can imagine all these mountains, gold, brown, orange. So if you want a beautiful sunset like this Amicalola Falls Lodge is the place to come. Come in the summertime, much cheaper rates, and don't go through Expedia. They can actually call them up. They'll give you a better rate over the phone. So this is the view off of the balcony of the suite here I booked at Amicalola Falls State Park up here in northeast Georgia in the Appalachian Mountains. Just saw a rattlesnake. I'll show you where we saw him at. If you look down here, the rattlesnake was going right about here. It was a timber rattlesnake. It was going right in there. It's a pretty chill guy. But geez, this view. Sit down here in the chair. Sun is cresting here behind the mountains. Here where the Appalachian Trail starts. And if I scroll over here, you'll see, pan over here, you'll see everyone is on the balcony right now, admiring the sunset. This is just, and this is our balcony. I'll do a full room tour tomorrow, but we're kind of sitting out here now, having some olippops, and just sucking in the view. I feel like I'm looking at a painting right now. It's like a really nice breeze that just started too. This is nice. Alright, so here's the last view of the sunset before the light officially goes, and it's doing like, especially like right there, it's doing like a hot pink thing. There's Venus. Come out there's Venus. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it in the camera, but there's Arcturus, and nope, it's not bright enough, but Venus is really bright. There's Venus, right there. But this sunset though, whew. People down there have started a fire pit. Way too many people down there for me to be interested. So I am perfectly content up here on the balcony of the 3rd floor. No one is on this side of the hotel either, so it's really quiet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video here from Amicalola Falls State Park Lodge and the filming locations of A Walk in the Woods starring Robert Redford and Nick Nolte. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll catch you guys on the next Adventuring with Chris.